Back again, that artifact.
Hit play, let the beats illuminate your mind, let the knowledge flow. Eat, sleep, and code, we're riding the tech wave. Oh, Net.js in this digital rave, so jump in the stream, it's the tech parade, go. Let your queries run through the circuits they roam. In a world where the data is the unsung hero, welcome to the stage, the Eat, Sleep, Code Show. Syntax tight, our semicolons in a row, with the AI beats and the database flow. Grab your gear, hit compile and let's go. We're breaking walls in our virtual chateau. With every line we write, our universe will grow. Welcome to the grid where the brave dare to code. Eat, sleep, code, let the systems overload. Sending signals in the neon afterglow.
Hey, there we
cheese
are.
again. They moved the cheese again. I had to go find the button to turn that off.
Yeah, you're fine.
Hello and welcome to Eat Sleep Code, where we talk about the latest in tech news and AI news and software developer news. It's all the news things. It's the latest and greatest of technology and AI, right, John?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. How was your week? Everything good?
Everything went very chaotic but good. There were no negatives so far. It's been Monday every day, but you know, that's just the
All right.
usual. All right, John. So we're gonna dive into some news here from around the web for the last couple weeks. I think
Sure.
we're gonna avoid the whole Apple thing though. Like, it was really
Okay.
nothing newsworthy about it, was there?
No, I didn't hear them talk about anything.
No, they're like, here's another phone that looks just like the last phone, and not to beat up Apple, like Google's doing the same thing. I was talking to my daughter the other day. I've got my phone. I don't know if it's. I think it might have been a software thing, but it's kept rebooting randomly, and I'm like, I might have to buy a new phone. I'm on a Pixel 6. What is even out there?
Sure.
And I look, and it's like the Pixel 10 and the Pixel 9 and the 8, and I'm like, all right, I'm several generations behind. So I start comparing
Laggard.
them, and like, there's no price difference between the 8 and the 9, nor is there really any feature differences. And then, or the 9 and the 10, and then I look at the 8, and it's like that one's not even being officially sold anymore.
I thought we weren't going to
There's-
talk about this. You're talking
Like,
about
they're
it.
getting so Apple. Like, this is such an Apple thing to do. All right, John. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Claude Code and what's new in beta? What's now in beta in Z? What does it even mean?
Yes.
Beta. In
All right, so
Z.
Zed, for those who don't know, it's a IDE. It's similar to Visual Studio Code. It's built by actually the folks who used to be part of the Atom team. So back in the day when Atom was a thing at GitHub, and also the tree sitter folks. So tree sitter is a mechanism by which you can define a, this is so geeky, but basically if you're trying to define a grammar for your code, tree sitter is a means by which you can actually parse those things. I was working with tree sitter way back about a couple years ago and absolutely loved it. Anyways, it's built in Rust, super fast. Anyways, so now what they've introduced is they've added Claude to Zed, which is available as a public beta. So you can now run Claude code within your Zed editor. It's not just a wrapper. It allows you to edits can happen across multiple files, syntax highlighting, multi-server support, language server support, etc. It supports obviously the agent client protocol, which is an open standard for connecting agents to editors. And they've created an adapter, and that bridges their SDK with the ACP. So enabled with full integration, and the road ahead is pretty clear. They've got lots of features they want to add. Some features around plan mode, certain slash commands, etc. But this is awesome stuff. You're using Zed.
Awesome. I've never tried it before. I've done Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio, but I haven't really stepped outside of that stuff in a while.
Okay.
I did some Bolt the other day. Bolt's an interesting one.
Yep. It's a good framework.
It's a good little prototyping tool.
Mm-hmm.
Like it as well. All right, we got some big news that we're announcing here at Progress. We have officially unveiled our software as a service RAG platform, and you know, we talk about security and stuff on this show, John. And when we talk about security, like, what's the first rule of security?
Don't talk about security.
Don't build your
own.
Maybe that's
like Fight Club.
Never build your own security.
Oh, don't roll your own algorithms. Yeah, for sure.
Like, RAG is one of those things, right? If you've ever tried to do any retrieval augmented generation stuff, there are lots of ways to like dip your toe in the water. There's APIs through Microsoft's extensions library, semantic kernel, LangChain, all of those things. You can do like some limited RAG things there, and if you try to scale that up, you're in for a world of hurt. Like, it's
awesome.
It's a very tough problem to get right. So we made an acquisition a couple weeks back, and it's getting excuse me, it's getting rolled out as Progress. Agentic RAG is going to be the official name of that software service. If you get a chance to check out the new platform, it is really amazing. You can ingest data very easily from all sorts of sources, do web scraping, ingest from an agent running on machines, bring in video, audio, all of those things, and have it indexed into a vector database, and then you can query on it, ask questions, and when you get results, you get some seriously grounded results from this thing. It's a very cool product. So super exciting stuff there.
All right, there you go.
On to some
I have nothing to say, dude. It's a press release. What do you want me to say?
I know. What I should do is a demo of it. Actually, we can do that. We actually can do that. We are dog fooding it right now. I'm gonna go. This is not. It's an A/B test.
The wheels are coming off, folks. Here we go.
So if I go to progress.com and I do RAG search, this is a new search that is powered by Progress Agentic RAG, and it can search our website in a much more intelligent way. So I could come in here and say, instead of just like searching for a particular product, I could say, I'm a Blazor developer. Gotta spell it right. What products from Progress apply to me? So I can give it human text queries, natural language queries, and it's going to search through all of our resources, blogs, documentation, all of that, and recommend products based on what I just typed in, rather than me having to know firsthand.
Still waiting.
Search. This is a preview of.
Is this you tap dancing while you're waiting for the answer here, Ed?
I am.
Oh, there we go. Okay, cool.
Look at that. Products for Blazor developers for Progress Software. Telerik UI for Blazor, Blazor REPL, Telerik reporting, document processing, Test Studio, Fiddler everywhere. It did a pretty good job. Like,
is the goal here to just give you as much as possible? Like, that's a lot.
My query was pretty general though.
Okay.
So if I would have
like, look at all those links.
So the sources is important here, John.
All right.
What this is the citations and the proof
Oh,
that
I got you.
this
Yep.
is not hallucinated.
Yes. Yes.
So it is telling me all of the places that it found the answer to my question. So I can always cross-reference if I feel like something is not correct. But what's really, really cool about this is it's, excuse me, my voice is not going to participate for the show today.
All right. I would, you know what I was just
Um,
thinking here, Ed? It would be cool is if I could get like a diagnostics or debug log as part of this to show me what happened under the covers as well. Like a button that could expose that to me. That'd be kind of cool.
There is that functionality in here. It's not exposed to the end user unless that is something you would want exposed to
Correct.
the
That's
end
what I'm
user.
saying though. Like if you had something
But
where you're working with, allow me to see what's happening,
there are additional beyond the sources.
Yep.
There's like deep dives into all of this where it got the citations from.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a chain of thought that's exposed, but there's quite a bit of metadata that does come back with these queries, and it's all up to the developer how they want to implement them.
All right.
But what's awesome about this is instead of a traditional search where I have, this would have been probably the traditional search on the right-hand side under sources. I would have got back a huge list of things that I would have to manually page through. Like a traditional Google search that has many, many pages.
Yep.
And you're usually looking at like the top 3 or 4 results to hope that that's what you wanted. This is the answer, right? It's one answer. It's not pages of answer. It's the answer. And it's actually a correct answer. And it is also a conversation. So I could come in here and add a follow-up on something specific.
So there's context?
Yes. Let's try this. Which of these products?
Sadly, there's nothing to help you
for
type.
User interface.
Have you been using computers long, Ed?
So I just asked it which of these is for user interface, and it should come back with.
You didn't even respond to my little quip there.
I'm bad at typing and talking at the same time. So if you're bad at typing and talking, there is a tool for that as well.
Yes.
You can get Zoom it, and then there's a command key you can press, and it will fake type for you from a text file. Oh wow! So it's gone out and gotten all of the user interface stuff.
Death by 1,000 links.
Theme builder, test studio, and stuff. So you can.
Oh, the links are blue. I haven't clicked them.
You can narrow down relevancy. You can ask for details on, you can continue the conversation and drill into things. It's very cool stuff. And it's all things that you can build with the Progress Agentic RAG technology. And of course it marries up with other AI systems as well.
I gotcha.
Catherine, I thought you were busy today.
Sadly, there's nothing that can help you from clicking all those links.
Yeah,
this is like death by 1,000 links.
It is powered by large language models and all of that stuff, so you can do like image recognition and all of that as well.
Right.
It's kind of outside of the context of the RAG system, but then it's not. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's got a RAG studio inside of the IDE or the back end, the back office for it too, which has some really cool tools where you can put in like multiple models and put in a prompt, and it'll go out and use the different models and give you results back to show you how the different models interact. There's all sorts of nice stuff in the new Progress Agentic RAG. It's a very cool thing. And as we talk about like these new UIs, I have a great segue here, John.
Oh, here we go.
I've been following this UX blog for quite some time. Luke W. He just comes up with fantastic stuff. He's always on the
I've read his stuff.
These things, and the blog post is "Chat is the future or a terrible UI," which is just what we were kind of talking about. Like these new searches, there are new problems that need to be solved with them, and he's got a lot of links here to the whole conversation of uh, here's some bad examples, or sorry, this second block here is the bad examples. Here's what not to do, and here's what you should do with these chat interfaces. It's like some of them suck, some of them are good, lessons learned type of thing, and it's a good read. And so his entire website is as well. But there was a funny link that was shared in context to all this, and it's called chatsucks.com.
Nice.
So there's a lot of UX people that are now dealing with all of the chat UI stuff. And
Sure.
again, we're trying to figure out where it solves the problem. And while we do that, you have to go down failed paths before you could find the value and start building a good user experience up. So somebody has come up with this brilliant website called chatsucks.com. And all you have to do is roll for a new one. Everyone in 2023, chat is the future. No chats, agents, do that thing, darling, please. Regular button. This is perfect. I love this. This is a great show, by the way. But this is the idea. It's just a fun site to scroll through if you're somebody that's working on an AI chat-based user interface these days. AI first is the future, John. Don't you know?
Uh-huh. That's about as all as I can say for that, Ed. Uh-huh.
Let's talk about some dev tools, John.
Sure, why not?
There was an update for Wolverine 5.0. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, so this is an update from Jeremy Miller, who's one of the developers working on the Critter Stack. The Critter Stack is a set of, obviously, tools that you can use as part of your backend. Wolverine is a messaging / event sourcing / workflow / service bus. It does all sorts of stuff. So works with Martin, which is an event store persistence library. So this is an update on the work that's being done around 5.0. They're switching some things around. They're typically, as it says here, they're making some changes. So they're moving from the TPL data flow to system.threading.channels, minor update. But they had a dependency on the Microsoft's TPL data flow library. And so they're replacing that. They're doing concurrency resistant parallelism. The tentative name for this is partition sequential messaging. The thing I like about these is that they've got these really cool terms to describe it, but basically messages get partitioned by domain keys. So if you have like a tenant ID, a stream ID, a SOG ID, these are the sort of things you have in sort of these long-standing transactions, etc. You can now get those messages partitioned by those domain keys. There's interoperability improvements, as mentioned. So RabbitMQ, AWS SQS, etc. So interop with mass transit and service bus, etc. There's batch querying, multi-event support. So there's lots of stuff there. There's inversion of control. There's SignalR integration, whole bunch of stuff. So this is a blog post from Jeremy talking about all of this.
Wow, it's got a lot of stuff going on. Speaking
Sure.
of the .NET 10,
oh no,
is here.
It's here. .NET 10.
.NET 10.
They should call it .NET X, like the Mac. It's the last version you'll ever need.
I've got some interesting stories that happened this week that deal with .NET versions, AI, all of that. But we'll talk about the .NET 10 release first. But just to give you a little foreshadowing, there's more to come in the form of old man stories from me.
Yeah,
good. .NET 10. The release candidates here, if you've been following the previews, you probably know some of this already, but there are big changes coming, or big updates coming, not changes, big updates coming for ASP.NET Core and Blazor, .NET MAUI, WinForms, C#, all of those things. And every year we celebrate this with a .NET Conf, which I think is somewhat scheduled. They have a call for papers out. .NET Conf is like the big release party that happens every year for developers are in November.
Yep.
So I expect this to hit in November, which is really not that far away anymore, is it?
No.
Um, so we've got updates for Blazor, persistent component state, enhanced navigation, validation improvements, quality of life stuff in there. Some new .NET MAUI stuff. Anything in here in particular, John, you want to dig into?
I'm just surprised by, like, you know, some of these sections read like bug fixes. You know, those iOS updates you sometimes get, like bug fixes. I'm like, okay, so if you read the section for like C# and F# and all that, it's like new improvements. It's like 0. So I think it's probably early, but yeah, I'm excited. We'll see. You know,
I didn't have
we'll
it teed up for this week, but we'll maybe dig into it next week. We have the ubiquitous release post that has all of the speed improvements.
Oh, so I love that.
You
yeah,
can even see it tagged down here.
Steven Taubes. Yeah, he's his yes, awesome.
Yeah, we can.
This
preview
is the watch the scroll bar get smaller and smaller.
We can dive into this one next week. And
oh my
talk
goodness!
A little bit about it and give it some proper attention, so we don't blaze.
Geez, I thought your RAG demo was hard. This is, you know, no, I'm
the
like
wall of text.
Yeah, exactly. So Steven Taubes like posts are legendary in the .NET community. He always does this post. He started this back way in I think it was like .NET 3 or .NET 2, maybe even before that. He started these performance improvements anytime there's a new version of .NET coming out, and it's like, here's everything you could possibly ever want to know. And it's like, you know, so he's just like this mountain of text.
I laughed a little bit because I was like, well, it doesn't look as long as it usually is.
Are you kidding? Look at that scroll bar. Look how small it is.
Maybe we can cover it this show. And then I saw this says show more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
show more.
And if you click on it, there's a gigantic...
It's like the Star Wars crawl, you know?
That's just the headings from each section.
Yeah.
So we'll try to dissect that next week. But
you know, that's what we should have. We should have John Williams playing in the background when we scroll through this. Just like imagine, like, here, I'll sing it. Go. You just scroll slowly. You're not making the joke. Scroll.
So let's circle back.
God.
To .NET 10 for a minute. So .NET 9 is the what do you call it? The short-term support release right now. The .NET 8 is LTS, and I
long-term
was
support
tasked with looking at some of our samples. We have like this giant sample repo, and it's got all sorts of really cool integration samples of how to use our UI libraries with like a million different things. And it's literally like 123 projects in it.
Okay.
In one mono repo. And all of those projects are on different versions of .NET, some of them requiring some updates. So
what's the point of having a mono repo?
Yeah, I dumped the mono repo into VS Code, and I went into GPT-5 with Copilot.
Okay.
And I just said, hey, I've got this repo. And it's a lot of files, man. Like a lot. Do me a favor and give me an audit and tell me how many of these need to be updated. And it went through. And it gave me, first of all, it wrote a script, which I thought was nice because it didn't try to do something dumb and like burn every token known to man in like, like kill entire rainforests, deplete uranium.
All right, we get it.
You know, you get the point. So it comes back and it's like, hey, you can just run the script and this will do the audit for you. So I'm like, all right, cool. Hit the button and it sure enough, it doesn't work. But it's in agent mode, right? So it says, hey, I'll fix that for you. And it goes through a couple iterations, fixes the script, runs it off. And then it tells me, you know, like 80 projects need to be updated. I'm like, all right, so go update them. And
what do you want from me? You know,
it ran. I am not kidding, John. It ran probably for 16 hours.
Oh, good, perfect.
Off and on, just like starting up, fixing things, asking questions, fixing things, asking questions. it got all of the projects up to date.
Nice.
Do they run? No. But
Crash.
that's where the human in the loop comes in. Like,
Uh-huh.
now I'm opening all of the projects to make sure they're good. And I'd say I'm at about a 60% success rate so far. So out of the
All right.
first 20, I'd say I've had I would say about 70%. It's about
No,
6 out
that's a
of
start,
20.
you know. AI, Ed. AI.
Yeah. But I mean, it got me, it's the 80-20, right? It got me 80% of the way there.
Yeah, but
It's
that
that
20 is really
20%,
important.
man.
That 20 is super important.
It did a lot of stuff that actually worked nice, because all of the repos initially were built with their own configuration, blah blah blah, and it centralized all of that into I forget the name of the file, but it's a .NET feature that lets you drop all of your settings into, like, it's like deployments dot
Kill me
something
dot
dot
JSON.
config. But
Make the
then you
world,
can.
make the hurting stop dot JSON dot VS proj.
So if you have 121 repos, you don't have to go to each one and update the version. You can just go to like one place and say, these are all
Sure.
now on version whatever. So those are being updated, and it got me pretty far. Got me pretty far. I thought it was a really interesting story to go along with all of this. The Visual Studio Code especially, Copilot
Yep.
is getting really good. It's an awesome AI app, John.
There you go. Yes.
It's an awesome AI app. See what
It
I
is.
did there? That
Yeah.
was pretty good.
All right.
Pretty good. Awesome AI apps is one of those awesome lists on GitHub. This one is a list of awesome AI apps. So if you want to check out a curated collection of awesome AI agents and LLM apps built with multiple tech stacks showing real-world implementations using OpenAI, Gemini, and local models and various frameworks, here you go.
Nice.
I read that off the screen.
Nice.
I didn't make that up. Quiet today, John.
No, I'm just taking it all in, dude.
So you could search for awesome AI apps on GitHub. We can drop some.
I'm still hurt that you chose not to go with me on the joke about Star Wars, but that's okay. I'll let it go.
I didn't quite catch my cue to scroll, but that's on me. I accept the lashing. All right. So there's things in here like I said, don't build your own, but there is a RAG application you could try out in here. Agents, starter agents.
Yep.
Multi-agents, RAG apps, multimodal apps. Multimodal things are so cool. I don't know if you've tried any of the multimodal models yet, but you could build your own girlfriend, John. I mean, that's got to be useful to someone.
Not to me. I'm married.
Me too. For funsies, sure. Multimodal apps are cool though, because you can the multimodal models are just basically multimedia in, large language model, multimedia out. So you can feed it
garbage in, garbage out.
Feed it text, have it give you audio, video back.
It's all garbage. I've used these. I tried using these, Ed. I tried using these generative apps for video. Images are okay, but video, oh my goodness, it's terrible.
Video.
It's terrible.
Turn sketches into animated video.
Yeah, I know. The video, the demo always looks super awesome, and then you go to use it, and it's complete garbage. I've used all of them, Ed. I've used all of them. They all stink.
They do. But this is the future, John. It's AI slop at its finest.
It is. It is definitely AI slop. That is true.
Yeah. So you can learn to build it. I mean,
no. No is a complete sentence, by the way. No. I've learned a lot in therapy. I'm going to say no. I'm going to put up my boundary and say no.
I think my next post got hijacked by a pop-up. There we go.
Oh, there you
go. I kicked off with a little bit of our RAG information with our progress agentic RAG, and then we talked about this last post was like the awesome AI list, and there's
Okay.
more RAG retrieval augmented generation in there, and I thought this was a nice post. Prompting versus RAG versus fine tuning. So if you are just getting into RAG and learning about it, this is a good post that compares what the differences are between just building prompt engineering and prompt context, fine-tuning a large language model on your own, and RAG, which fits kind of in between all of those things. There's also some really good posts. If you want to Google search IBM on YouTube, IBM has some really good
That is a
AI.
sentence I haven't heard in a long, long time. If you want to Google IBM on YouTube, like I would, okay.
I feel
There's
so
much to
weird
that statement.
saying it just as much
Yeah.
as you do hearing it. But
Yes. IBM? Really? Okay.
a couple years ago, I think we may have actually talked about it on this podcast.
All right.
IBM went through a phase of hiring developer advocates. Do you remember this?
Okay.
We talked about it on the show. I swear we've talked about it here. If not, maybe on another podcast we did or something. But they went through a phase of hiring developer advocates, and they actually advertised on television some of this. And they had ads that rolled on TV that were like, it was like some dude talking to his parents or something, and they're like, "What do you do?" And he's like, "I play with trains." And like it was like something about how IBM uses like technology to like make trains work or something. And like at the end, it's like, you can be a software developer too. It was really weird. But anyhow, they upped their game in the dev advocacy space, and they have brilliant YouTube videos on AI and machine learning for every level, beginner, intermediate, whatever. They are really well done. And if you're learning about any of the stuff mentioned in this article, prompting, RAG, fine tuning, all of that, check out some of IBM's YouTube videos. Like they're really good. And they have one on there called CAG versus RAG, which is context augmented generation versus retrieval augmented generation, which is very similar to what this is talking about. And then this layers on fine tuning as well.
I'm watching it right now. I'm seeing it. Oh, yeah, I
the
see what you're
CAG
saying.
versus
They're
RAG.
using light boards for. I remember them introducing the light board approach where they draw on the screen and stuff like that. So they're big
They
fans
have
of
some
that.
brilliant stuff on there. Highly recommend it if you're learning about AI. Go to IBM's content. There's some good examples in here of what all of these things are and when to do them, and even a hybrid approach. But it is showing on this example like the knowledge required, the model tuning required, like prompt engineering is on the low end. Basically, you're feeding the context of the model through prompts, lots of information, so it can retrieve that information back or summarize it, that type of thing. Where RAG is going to go out and search a vector database and pull back chunks of data to add to the context based on your search, mix that back into the results. There you have your retrieval augmented generation. And then fine tuning is when you're taking a large language model and you're actually just creating another version of that large language model by adding additional training and tuning to it, and distilling and all of that stuff. And then you've got like the fourth category, which is a combination of those two things. So this is a good read if you are interested in any of those activities. Again, these are like very data science heavy things that I'm talking about, very much machine learning and AI. So if you're deep into that stuff or wanting to get deep into that stuff, this is probably a really good place to start, is something like this. There's a little upfront knowledge required, but
All
it's a
right.
good comparison between all of the tactics that can be used with generative AI and large language models. On to some cool stuff that we found. GitHub, using GitHub Pages as a URL shortener and redirection service. I thought this was an interesting hack.
Yeah, GitHub Pages is a feature that allows you to basically host, page right out of your repos. Provides basically a mechanism for hosting. And Christian Heilman, who's, I don't know where Christian is. Is he at Microsoft or Google or Mozilla? I don't know where he is, but he's very prominent in the DevRel spaces, etc. It's a blog post talking about how to use this as a URL shortener redirection service. So a redirector is basically where you do an HTTP request comes in. You may want to do a redirect, a 302 response, for example, and it's a quick and easy way to do this. I would argue there's probably better ways to do this than using GitHub Pages as a hack, but it's kind of fun. So basically, he's using built-in Jankel redirection plugins to do that, and so by hosting that through GitHub Pages, you can do this. I would argue that you could probably do this a little bit more simply, but there you go.
It doesn't seem like the most scalable solution. I've seen people do it with Azure Functions to make it as lightweight as possible. But I just thought it was great that he was able to take something as like low level as GitHub Pages. There's not, you're not talking about like a server infrastructure of, I mean, behind the scenes there is, but as a end user, it's not like you're running functions and all of that type of stuff.
I mean, if you're looking for a paid service, we use short.io. There's Bitly. There's a bunch of these as well that you can use. But if you want to create your own, you can certainly do it this way.
And I was trying to find out real quick where Christian Heilman is at these days. It just says he's technical trainer. He was working on the Edge team for a while. He's been at Google in other positions, so he's always got something really interesting to blog about on the web side of stuff. He's been deep into the web for quite some time. Yeah, he's always got the smartest stuff to post. I love watching people that are much smarter than myself. It's how you really can get ahead in life, is like you follow people smarter than you. Don't try to hang around people that are dragging you down. All right, John. Windows 11. This was a couple weeks ago. The news may be a little stale on this, but I thought it was worth bringing up because it did bad things.
What did it do, Ed? What did it do?
It bricked hard drives.
Oh, no.
Some cases, data was unrecoverable.
Not good.
That's what they say in the headline. Windows Update version 24H2. It was on August 12th, and they started rolling it out. And when they did, there were folks that were noticing that there was a lot of system crashes, and it appears they were making solid-state hard drives go bad. I don't know how exactly it did this, but it caused them to go corrupt. And
who needs what's that? What was that cyber thing that happened? CrowdStrike. Who needs CrowdStrike when you got this? I guess
Yeah.
So that's unfortunate. They must have done a BIOS update or something untoward. What did it say that they did in here?
I'm trying to see what the culprit was.
Oh, wait. Actually, scroll up. I think it said it there. So it's like keep scrolling up. Sorry. So it says, keep going. Sorry. Keep going. Root cause. Compressed it into a zip archive. No, it's not that part. A little bit down. And wrote it to an SSD. Finally, they decompressed the archive. This is being tested. An SSD failure was recoverable following a reboot. Means the error occurred. You're scrolling too quick.
Let's do the Star Wars thing again. Can we try it
yes,
again?
I know. So interesting. I don't know what they did, but that's unfortunate. That sucks.
Yeah. So it says that the updates were the root cause, but it doesn't say what they did to the during the update to make them the root cause.
Hmm.
But they were physically failing, so I guess they stopped that rollout, and that was one of those things like they did wrong. Not Microsoft did wrong, but you brought up the what was it what was the update you said that went bad?
CrowdStrike.
CrowdStrike, that one.
Yeah.
Unlike CrowdStrike, I think this was a rollout. It wasn't everybody gets the update now, and then now you've got everybody with corrupted SSDs. So they were doing it a little bit at a time, rolling out it to test users and stuff first.
Hmm.
So that isolated it a bit.
There you go.
Enhance your CLI testing workflow with the new .NET test.
Yes.
We needed a new test platform.
Well, we do have one now. So for those who aren't aware, there's actually the .NET test. So as part of the .NET CLI, there's a new-ish test capability. And so what this is an article that talks about utilizing that as part of your testing workflow. So in .NET 10, again, this is related to what we were talking about. In .NET 10, .NET test, the CLI, the CLI gains native integration with Microsoft Testing Platform, the MTP. And so it replaces the previous dependency it had on VS Test for the advanced features. So you can use MTP by adding a .NET config file in your solution and utilize it there. But the workflow itself talks about how you can pass your test discovery, richer diagnostics, more flexible ways of selecting which tests for running, etc. There's a bunch of breaking change that comes along with this, but .NET Test is changing for .NET 10, and should be really cool to see how people can use this going forward.
I love that they do these .NET community stand-ups on this.
Yeah, they're great. I like it.
Yeah, they've been really staying on top of like these type of posts where
Yes.
they're new things that you may not have heard about yet, and they're getting you up to speed fast. They talk to the PMs and the engineers involved.
Yes.
So this is actually a pretty lengthy post here.
It is.
The real important part here is, can I use this with an MCP server? Because I have some cool productivity things that I'm doing with MCP stuff and testing frameworks. I have we have some auditing things that we're up to, and I told you about the one with updating many projects at one time. We've also been doing some work with just scanning pages to check for things like broken links or outdated verbiage and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But there is a really nice tool that can help even as a developer. Like, you can just latch onto this MCP thing, and I'm trying to find the website for this. It's Visual Studio. Let's see, VS Code MCP. Let's try that. And
make sure you're sharing it.
I will, as soon as I get it on screen. Well, let's do this. Let me kill my screen share, and let me try sharing from Visual Studio Code, because I think it's a better way to share it. Let's try entire screen. There we go. So in Visual Studio Code now, they have an MCP.
I think you're showing the wrong screen there, bud.
No, this is VS Code.
Oh, I see. Sorry, you were showing VS Code. Sorry.
Yeah, so in VS Code now, you can click on this configure tools thing, and these are all of the MCP servers that your large language model, your Copilot, can call. And this is like a new place to dump in AI-enabled tooling and just hack away at stuff from Visual Studio Code. You could use ChatGPT, you can use all of that stuff in a similar way. I'm already in my IDE, so why not just let Copilot handle this? So you can add these tools into Copilot, and have it do all sorts of stuff. I've got ones in here for Telerik for all of the stuff that we do at
Yep.
Progress. We have
Yep.
these public MCP clients that they're specialized in using our libraries and UI components and things. So you can ask them to build UIs, you can ask them to help you with document processing, and they write code for you. You do more than write code in this. So one of the cool things is this one MCP server that says Playwright. Playwright is a testing tool from Microsoft. If you go over to extensions, now in Visual Studio Code, you can see this MCP servers installed. And there's a button you can click on. It's going to get you this page I was trying to find. This has a list of MCP servers for agent mode. And you can just come in here and click to install
Right.
these different tools. There's productivity tools, data analytics, business services. There's one that you like, John, Terraform as a MCP tool.
Yeah, you know.
Figma. But Playwright is a cool one. Install this. Click install, get it on your machine. It's free to use. You're gonna pay for tokens, whatever it uses with Copilot. The MCP server itself is free. Like, download the plugin, it'll go into your list here, and then in Copilot, we'll drop this in the full screen. It's going to be on a little checkbox in here, and you can check MCP Playwright. What this is going to enable your Copilot to do is it can now open web pages and just perform like any task a human could do.
Okay.
So if you can use it to help test your web applications, or you can just use it to do various tasks on the web that you need to get done that would require a human normally. So one of the things that we were working on was auditing web pages to check for like broken links and things like that. And you could literally come into the GPT or Copilot console here, throw up a hashtag and say Playwright, and just put in like, I'm doing this task. Go open this web page and check and see if there's any 404s in it. And it will do one page ad hoc like that. You can also come into and say, all right, Playwright, the navigation for this website is located here. Like, you can describe it in human text. You can give it more code-friendly things if you want. You could say it's in this CSS selector. And you can navigate the entire website with this navigation element. Go through all of the pages and check and make sure that anything linked in those pages is not a 404.
Right.
So since it's a code-based tool, like it's not just it can scrape data if it needs to, but it also has other functionality like being able to target CSS selectors and HTML elements and find buttons and things like that. So it can do this pretty intelligently, and it can like scan for like anchor tags and make sure that they go through to another page and they're not a 404, and it can come back and give you like a full report and dump it into a markdown file. Like, here's the 404s we found and what pages to go get them and fix them. So it's just really a handy tool to be able to enable web page automation from Visual Studio to do literally anything that you need the page automation to do. It doesn't have to be a code-related task, although it generally is. It doesn't have to be. So I thought that was pretty cool to share. Hats off to the Playwright team for that one. And I have one more link, John. This is more of a fun one. I wish it was a can it play Doom? It is not. But let's see here. We'll share this window. And our last link is going to be... I wish Catherine was around. She had to go. I thought she would enjoy this. This is called logoipsum.com.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And if you're building a wireframe for some UX experiment, or maybe you're building page templates to sell on Etsy, I don't know, whatever. You need a logo, but you don't
Mm.
want to use a real logo. You want a placeholder logo. Why not go to Logo Ipsum and just grab a random placeholder logo from there? It's like Lorem Ipsum, but for logos. You just
I
click
like
on
it.
it, paste it into your app, and there you have the Logo Ipsum logo. Look at that. You download it as SVG.
Yep.
I don't know if it supports hot linking.
Mm.
There is a share button. I assume you could probably hot link to it. I like it. Oh, look at that. You got the vectorized black and white version of it. This is just too handy. If you're doing any design work, you probably understand the usefulness of this. So Logo Ipsum, 173 placeholder images.
Mm.
The Lorem Ipsum of logo. That is the biggest. Oh, wait, am I zoomed in? Before I no, I'm not zoomed in. This is the biggest. The biggest. What do they call these things again? Hero image
Yes.
I think I've ever seen. So yeah, jump on to logoipsum.com and grab your placeholder logo. Any parting words, John? Now that I've offloaded that valuable piece of information.
No, I hope everyone has a good rest of their week, and I guess we'll see you on the next one.
Right, sounds good. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be back next week, and we'll talk to you then. Take care, everybody.
See you.